Nepo babies are everywhere in real life. In actors, influencers, music, they're everywhere. People who just got gifted their whole career to them and never had to work a day in their life. And hell, there's nothing wrong with being a Nepo baby. Sometimes I be wishing I'm a Nepo baby so I don't gotta be slaving at these 12-hour shifts in the warehouse. But Nepo babies are not just in real life, they're also in animes. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the biggest Nepo babies in anime. First up, we gotta talk about that boy Deku. Now I love Deku and I love My Hero Academia. I've glazed Deku a bunch in the past, but I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say that this nigga Deku is not a Nepo baby. Like, come on, he grew up wanting to be a superhero, he grew up loving All Might, and he grew up having no powers. And what is the one thing that happens to him when he finally runs into All Might? This nigga All Might just randomly has the ability to pass down his powers to other people. And who does he choose? Obviously that nigga Deku, because he's a weak and frail human that always wants to be a superhero and got no powers. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say that Deku did not grind a little bit in the show. He did have to grind. He had to grind to learn how to control his powers, but let's be for real. This nigga instantly speed ran himself to #1 hero because he got the strongest power in the show. Like, this nigga Todoroki was sitting up here grinding for years and he can't touch this nigga Deku because Deku just got the most OP power in the show. Like, I understand why this nigga Bakugo had such a hatred for Deku, because imagine you grow up, there's a nigga in your class, he got no powers, and out of nowhere this nigga just got the strongest power in the world over a course of a month and you don't even know how to explain it. This nigga just randomly turned up and now he's the strongest nigga you ever met. I'll be tight too. I'll be pissed too because I grew up loving All Might. I want to be the #1 hero, but somehow your ass just got gifted the greatest power in the world. Now Deku is a grinder, I'll give him that, but that nigga is a pure definition of a Nepo baby. Next up, we gotta talk about Yuji Itadori. Now at first I was not gonna put my boy on this list because I'm thinking in the back of my mind, this nigga Itadori ain't no Nepo baby. He grinded for his shit. Yeah, he got Sukuna's powers, but he was strong enough to handle it. But after watching the first 3 episodes of JJK again, I gotta put this nigga on the list because that's straight nepotism. They literally say if a nigga eats Sukuna's fingers, they gonna die off rip. That's why that nigga Megami was tripping out with that nigga swallowed that shit. But what happens when Itadori eats it? This nigga somehow survives. And not only does he survive, the rarest thing happens to him. He becomes a vessel for Sukuna. Like, come on, not only is this nigga a regular school kid, he's not even a sorcerer, and somehow he's able to inherit the strongest demon's powers and be okay and not die. The only side effect that happens to him is that this nigga Sukuna can take over his body whenever he wants. But besides that, this nigga Itadori is straight chilling. When they took him back to the sorcerer's hub, instead of killing him off rip, because you know, this nigga just swallowed the strongest demon's powers, he can easily be used like as a puppet whenever he wants. This nigga Gojo looks at him and be like, you know what, I fuck with this nigga, we gonna keep him around and make him eat more fingers. This nigga got a hand invitation to become a sorcerer, while this nigga Megami had to sit there, grind his ass off for probably years just to become a sorcerer. And this nigga Itadori ain't have to do shit but eat a finger. Now I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with that nigga Itadori, but we gotta be for real. In my opinion, the next person I'm about to talk about is probably the biggest Nepo baby in this entire video. We got that boy, Yuno from Black Clover. Now, Yuno grew up an orphan, and when it's time for him and Asa to finally get their magical powers, this nigga Yuno gets gifted the 4-leaf grimoire, which is the rarest grimoire to ever get. You know how rare it is because the second he got it, everybody in that building with him instantly broke their necks and turned and looked at him. And this nigga, the second he got that grimoire, he instantly knew how to use it. He instantly knew how to control the powers and everything. This nigga ain't have to train for shit. He was just naturally gifted and knew how to instantly use the powers. While this nigga Asta, on the other hand, ain't even get a grimoire, and when he finally did, it was some devil one that he had to work his ass off just to understand how to use it. They gave him this heavy ass sword. This nigga had to train super hard just to be able to pick it up. This nigga Asta is the definition of a pure grinder, while this nigga Yuno is the definition of a Nepo baby. This nigga Yuno comes from a royal family with insane powers. That's why he was able to get that 4-leaf grimoire and why he was able to use the power so easily. This nigga Yuno was so strong that right when he joined a division, he was instantly climbing the ranks like no tomorrow because he was super strong. This nigga Asta had the opposite effect of Yuno. He had to work his butt off, grind for everything he got just to be even considered to get put in a division. And when he finally got put in the division, he still had to grind his ass off to control a power. While this nigga Yuno got everything handed to him. He got his grimoire, the 4-leaf grimoire, the luckiest one ever. He comes from a royal family that's insanely strong, and also he instantly knew how to use the power. He was instantly blessed and strong enough to know how to control the power. Now I fuck with Yuno. I think the reason his character is there is to push Asa to make him stronger. That's why they had to make that nigga a Nepo baby. Now for the final character on this list, I was not gonna put him on this list because I felt like I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but you know what, I don't care. We got that boy Naruto. Now growing up, I wasn't the biggest fan of Naruto, I'm gonna be honest, but as I got older, I learned to love and respect Naruto and respect what he has done for the big three. But I'll be lying if I sat up here and told you that this boy Naruto is not a Nepo baby. He grew up not knowing how to do any jutsus except the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and I understand that he mastered that to a T, but how the hell was Naruto able to get so far and able to become Hokage if he only knew how to do one jutsu? And the simple answer is because he had the Nine-Tailed Fox sealed inside of him. If he never had that Nine-Tailed Fox sealed inside of him, and if he never learned how to tap into that Nine-Tailed Fox power, he would have never made it far. He would have never even made it to Jonin level. The only reason he made it that far, the only reason he was able to defeat all these villains is because he had the Nine-Tailed Fox sealed inside of him, and because his father was the 4th Hokage. If his father was not the 4th Hokage, he would have never sealed the Nine-Tailed Fox inside of him, and Naruto would have probably never became a ninja. So that's the reason why Naruto's a Nepo baby. He had the opposite effect of what Sasuke had. Him and Sasuke had a similar uprising. They both have no parents, they lost everything, they got no friends. The difference is Sasuke is a super strong guy that trained and worked hard for everything, while Naruto on the other hand is a Nepo baby. He just got that Nine-Tailed Fox power inside of him, and he's able to tap into it, and that's the reason why he's strong. Now, don't make this seem like I hate on my boy Naruto. I love him. I've been glazing him as the years went on, but I'm not gonna sit up here not say that this nigga is not the Nepo baby of the big three. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with being a Nepo baby. Sometimes I wish I was a Nepo baby so I don't gotta be slaving myself at work. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below who you think is the biggest Nepo baby in anime. But other than that, it's your boy Midnight, and I'm out. Peace out.